Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Homemade Muscles, and in this week's video I'm going to give you an easy way on how to calculate your protein intake on a daily basis. Now, protein is the only macronutrient I bother to keep track of on a daily basis, and the reason I do that is of its importance in muscle building and muscle recovery. The way I keep track of my protein intake on a daily basis is I have a list on my wall which I have printed, and this list contains all the basic foods I include in my diet on a weekly basis. Now, I don't calculate my protein every time I eat a meal. That's not worth the hassle. What I do is at the end of my day I just quickly calculate everything I ate, and I keep track of the foods that are high in protein. I don't count, for example, protein from fruits and salads and stuff like that. Yes, there's protein also in these kinds of foods, but it's so small, and the quality of the protein, the amino acid profile these foods have is really low, so it's not worth calculating on a daily basis. What I do to counterbalance this is at the end of the day, for example, if I have a total protein intake of 97, I will round it up to 100. Now I'm going to start at the top of my list, and at the top of my list I have meat. Meat is one of the best sources of protein and one of the best quality protein sources among other stuff, and I'm gonna count my meat in portions, which are 100 grams. And an easy way to calculate 100 grams of meat is that it's about the size of an average palm, of an average male hand, and it's the same width and the same height and also the same thickness. So every time you eat an amount of meat that's about the size of your palm, or that it's exactly 100 grams, you can just easily calculate that this portion of meat is 25 grams of protein. Now, moving on to the second item of my list is eggs, and an average size egg has about 6 grams of protein. This may vary a little bit. For example, big eggs have maybe 7.5 grams, and the really small eggs might have 5 grams of protein. But if you calculate just an average of 6 grams, you will get it on average right. Next in the list is cottage cheese, and cottage cheese is a really great source of protein, after of course meat and eggs. It's a great alternative for protein. You can eat it together with meat and eggs or whatever, or you can eat it separately, doesn't really matter. What matters is to generally in your day combine a lot of protein sources. This will make sure that you have a great source of different amino acids in your protein intake, and it will help you generally build muscle and recover more effectively. Now, next in the list is kidney beans, and kidney beans is a great alternative also for protein. I eat it about 2 to 3 times per week, and a cup of cooked kidney beans is about 15 grams of protein. Now, next in the list are nuts, and nuts are a great snack to add some protein easily in your daily diet, and about a handful of nuts is 6 grams of protein, which is, for example, 23 almonds or 30 grams of nuts. Moving on, another thing I include on my daily diet is oatmeal, and half a cup of oatmeal is about 6 grams of protein. And last but not least is chocolate, and 100 grams of chocolate has about 8 grams of protein. Now, this is the basis of my weekly diet, the basis of where I get my proteins. It might not be perfect, but if you're out on a low budget and you don't want to spend an extreme amount of money for food, it's a quite good combination of foods to get protein from. Now, if at the end of the day it's really difficult for you to get all the protein from real food, or maybe it's really expensive, because in some countries meat can be quite expensive, what you can do is add some protein supplement. Just get a whey protein and add a scoop of protein at the end of the day. I wouldn't recommend getting a lot of like 50% of your daily protein intake in protein powder, but just a little scoop at the end of the day can be a great way to complete your protein intake on a daily basis. It can be a bit more cheaper for a lot of people, and it won't do any harm. So that was all. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm also going to include the list of the foods I showed you in this video. I'm going to include it in the description box. You know, I'm going to put a printable version of it, so you know, if you think you find this list helpful, if you'd like to keep track of your protein intake while eating these foods, you can download it. And until next time, keep on training.